Wait, what?
Welcome to Weiwat The W Files, where we dig into the mysteries that defy logic, challenge history, and push the boundaries of what we think we know. Today, we're exploring a text so controversial and compelling that it was left out of the Bible, the Book of Enoch. This ancient manuscript isn't just some forgotten scroll. It's filled with fallen angels, giants, apocalyptic visions, cosmic journeys, and astronomical insights that seem way ahead of their time. So why was it banned? What hidden truths does it hold? And why does it still captivate scholars, theorists, and seekers of the unknown? From the mystery of the Watchers, angels who broke divine law, to the terrifying Nephilim, beings of immense power and destruction, we're unraveling one of the most intriguing and enigmatic ancient texts ever written. Is this just myth? Or is there something deeper hidden within its pages? The Book of Enoch isn't the kind of text that just sits quietly on a dusty shelf. This is ancient literature with the intensity of a lost chapter from the Bible, the high fantasy of Tolkien, and the prophetic intrigue of Nostradamus, all rolled into one. If you think scripture is all hymns and parables, this book takes a sharp detour into the realm of fallen angels, giants, cosmic visions, and divine judgment. It's not just a religious text. It reads like an ancient apocalyptic blockbuster. What makes the Book of Enoch so fascinating is that it wasn't just some fringe manuscript ignored by history. Quite the opposite. It had real influence, particularly in early Christian and Jewish thought. Scholars believe it was compiled during the Second Temple period, a time of exile, oppression, and existential turmoil for the Jewish people. While the Bible often deals with divine law and moral guidance, Enoch takes it several steps further, asking what happens when cosmic order itself is threatened. In a way, it mirrors the sense of crisis and uncertainty its writers faced, almost like an ancient dystopian epic. One of the book's most infamous elements is the story of the Watchers, a group of angels tasked with observing humanity. Think of them as celestial anthropologists studying Earth's civilizations from above. That was the job, at least. Until they decided to abandon their divine posts and descend to Earth for a more hands-on experience. And by hands-on, well, they got a little too involved with humanity. These angels, led by Shemihaza, didn't just observe. They took human wives, which, as you might guess, was a big celestial no-no. The result? A catastrophe that sent shockwaves through the heavens. The union between these rebellious angels and human women led to the birth of the Nephilim, a race of giants described as mighty, violent, and utterly destructive. Imagine a race of beings that are part divine, part human, and absolutely uncontrollable. These weren't just big guys wandering around. They were a serious existential threat to the world itself. Their existence alone was enough to push the cosmic balance to the breaking point, triggering divine judgment on an apocalyptic scale. And that's just the beginning. So, what exactly were the Nephilim? Were they just oversized, clumsy brutes stomping around like bad special effects in an old B-movie? Or was there something far more sinister at play? According to the Book of Enoch, these beings weren't just big, they were a full-on existential nightmare. The term Nephilim roughly translates to fallen ones, and their presence on Earth wasn't just about their size. It was about their insatiable hunger for power, destruction, and, disturbingly enough, flesh. Yes, the Book of Enoch suggests that the Nephilim didn't just deplete resources, they turned on humanity itself. Cannibalism, chaos, and unchecked violence ran rampant, painting a picture that feels like something ripped straight out of Attack on Titan. These weren't just unfortunate accidents of divine romance, they were walking harbingers of the world's unraveling. Their presence was proof that everything had gone off the rails, a glaring sign that humanity had hit a moral and existential breaking point. And when things spiral that far out of control, what's the divine solution? A reset button, also known as the Great Flood. The Book of Enoch suggests that these events, angels breaking divine law, giants wreaking havoc, humanity descending into corruption, weren't just coincidences. They were symptoms of a world in dire need of purification. The flood wasn't just about cleaning up a messy civilization. It was an act of cosmic course correction. But this theme of divine beings intermingling with humans? It's not exclusive to Enoch. It pops up across multiple ancient traditions. Take Greek mythology, for example. Zeus and his long list of questionable relationships with mortals. The offspring of these unions, from Hercules to Perseus, were often larger than life, possessing extraordinary power and destiny-shaping roles. It's a recurring narrative, one that suggests an enduring human fascination, and perhaps fear, of the boundary between the divine and the mortal. Was this just a storytelling coincidence? Or does it hint at something deeper? That's a question scholars and theorists have been wrestling with for centuries. The Book of Enoch, much like many mythologies before it, taps into this primal unease about the unknown, about forces beyond our control. The fear that we are mere chess pieces in a grand cosmic game we barely understand. Even if you set aside the supernatural elements, angels, giants, divine wrath, there's something undeniably human about the Book of Enoch. It doesn't just spin a wild tale. It forces us to confront deep, unsettling questions. What happens when we overstep our boundaries? How do we handle the weight of knowledge and power? What are the consequences of our moral failings? This is why, even for skeptics, there's something worth pondering here. The book doesn't just describe divine rebellion or apocalyptic doom. It holds up a mirror to human nature itself. Temptation, corruption, power struggles, and the fear of the unknown, those never go out of style. It's no wonder that modern storytelling echoes the same themes. In fact, if you think about it, the Book of Enoch has a lot in common with the Twilight Zone. Both blur the lines between reality and the surreal, playing with our biggest fears and deepest fascinations. Whether through angels and giants or eerie black and white monologues, both narratives ask the same question. What if the world is far stranger than we ever imagined? And much like the Twilight Zone, the Book of Enoch doesn't just tell a story, it leaves you with more questions than answers. After diving into the drama of the Watchers and their Nephilim offspring, the book takes a wild turn into the cosmos, shifting from an ancient mythological horror to something that feels like a mix of Interstellar and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Because Enoch, he wasn't just an observer of celestial chaos. He was a prophet, a man granted access to the inner workings of the universe itself. He didn't just talk about divine beings, he went on a guided tour of the heavens. If the first part of the Book of Enoch feels like Clash of the Titans, this section is full-on cosmic exploration. Enoch was supposedly taken beyond Earth, shown the secrets of the stars, the structure of reality, and even the realms where angels reside. It's like an ancient Carl Sagan meets Dante's Divine Comedy, but with fewer telescopes and a lot more divine chariots. What makes this even more interesting is that Enoch's descriptions of the cosmos weren't just wild guesses. Despite being written centuries before modern telescopes, the book actually contains some shockingly advanced astronomical insights. The Book of Enoch describes celestial cycles, including the movements of the sun and moon, the solstices, and even concepts that hint at a spherical Earth. While ancient cultures often leaned into mythology to explain the skies, Enoch's writings suggest there was a deeper scientific awareness tucked within the myths. This raises an intriguing possibility. What if certain ancient civilizations had a greater understanding of astronomy than we typically credit them for? We tend to assume that pre-modern cultures were fumbling in the dark, thinking the world was flat and riding on the back of a giant turtle. But Enoch's writings suggest something else, that knowledge may have been lost, fragmented, or rewritten over time. But celestial mechanics weren't the only things revealed to Enoch. His visions weren't just about the heavens. They were also about the future. And like any good apocalyptic text, Enoch's predictions paint a picture of divine judgment, world-ending upheaval, and the coming of a messianic figure who will bring peace and justice. Sound familiar? That's because themes from Enoch's prophecies echo through many later religious traditions. It's the same archetypal narrative we see in countless disaster movies and doomsday predictions. A world thrown into chaos, an impending reckoning, and the promise of a new age emerging from the ruins. So was Enoch predicting the apocalypse? This is where interpretation comes in. Some scholars argue that Enoch's prophecies were highly specific to the political and social turmoil of his time, essentially serving as a coded warning about corruption and oppression. Others believe that the visions transcend time, pointing to universal patterns of destruction and renewal that apply to all of human history. Either way, the Book of Enoch doesn't just tell a wild story, it forces us to think about the nature of power, justice, and the cycles of history. Whether taken literally or metaphorically, it's an ancient text that still resonates in our modern world. Maybe the Book of Enoch isn't really about an end-of-the-world scenario in the way we picture it. Fire, brimstone, mass destruction. Maybe it's something more profound. A warning about the dangers of unchecked human corruption and the need for moral renewal. Rather than a prophecy of doom, the book could be seen as a call to action, reminding us that our choices shape the world around us. It reinforces the idea that justice, whether divine or societal, will always catch up with wrongdoing. And that's why, even though this text was written in a radically different era, it still resonates. Because at the end of the day, humanity hasn't really changed all that much. We still wrestle with questions of good and evil, the balance of power, the consequences of ambition, and the fear of the unknown. The anxieties and hopes written into Enoch's pages, they're timeless. There's something universal about looking up at the night sky and feeling both awe and terror. The realization that we are tiny, fragile beings in an impossibly vast universe. The Book of Enoch taps into that tension, the beauty of the cosmos and the dangers of overreaching. It plays out almost like a cosmic horror story, warning against tampering with forces we don't fully understand. Think about the myth of Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods and suffering the consequences. The same idea surfaces in Enoch's narrative. Seeking forbidden knowledge can have unintended and disastrous results. That's a theme that keeps showing up, from Frankenstein to modern sci-fi like Prometheus. The idea that pushing the boundaries of knowledge, while tempting, can sometimes awaken forces beyond our control. For a text filled with angels, giants, cosmic journeys, and apocalyptic visions, one of the biggest mysteries surrounding the Book of Enoch is why it was ultimately left out of the Bible. And the answer? Well, it's complicated. One theory is that the book was simply too much, too strange, too speculative, too packed with angelic drama for some early religious leaders. While other biblical texts also deal with prophecy and divine encounters, Enoch's vivid descriptions, heavy focus on the supernatural, and borderline sci-fi elements may have made it feel too unorthodox for inclusion. But despite its exclusion from the official canon, the Book of Enoch refused to disappear. It continued circulating, influencing early Christian thought in ways many people don't even realize. In fact, the New Testament's Book of Jude quotes directly from Enoch, proving that its ideas were still shaping religious beliefs long after it was left out of the Bible. That's the power of so-called forbidden ideas. They don't just vanish because someone decides they don't fit the mold. If anything, they often become more influential, more intriguing, and more enduring. And that's why, thousands of years later, the Book of Enoch still fascinates, challenges, and unsettles. It pushes us to question assumptions, explore new perspectives, and keep an open mind, because sometimes the strangest stories hold the deepest truths. Even if we don't take everything in the Book of Enoch literally, there's something undeniably powerful about its storytelling. It doesn't just present ancient beliefs. It taps into something deeper, something hardwired into the human experience. From the dawn of civilization, we've been drawn to the strange, the surreal, and the unexplained. The Book of Enoch is a perfect example of this, blurring the lines between myth, prophecy, history, and cosmic mystery. And that same curiosity is still alive and well today. Just look at the popularity of shows like Ancient Aliens, The X-Files, or Black Mirror. We're still searching for hidden truths, lost knowledge, and answers to questions that don't have easy explanations. Whether it's angels and Nephilim, ancient astronauts, or simulated realities, there's something undeniably human about our obsession with the unknown. The Book of Enoch, like so many other legendary texts, challenges our understanding of reality. It makes us question what we thought we knew. That's why it still fascinates, unsettles, and inspires after all these centuries. At its core, it's a book that forces us to think about the biggest questions. Where do we come from? What forces shape our destiny? Are we alone in the universe? What happens when we overstep the boundaries of knowledge? Humans are, at their core, storytelling creatures. We use stories to make sense of the world, explore our deepest fears, and connect with something beyond ourselves. The Book of Enoch gives us a powerful mythological framework to grapple with some of life's greatest mysteries. As Carl Sagan once said, we are made of star stuff. Maybe our fascination with celestial beings, cosmic journeys, and apocalyptic visions is our way of reconnecting with the vast, mysterious universe we live in. And that's what makes the Book of Enoch so thrilling. It doesn't just tell a story, it forces us to confront the mysteries of existence. It blends good versus evil, free will versus destiny, and the ultimate fate of humanity in a way that's both terrifying and exhilarating. The Book of Enoch isn't just an ancient text, it's a window into the unknown. At times, it offers glimpses of heaven and hell, the forces of creation and destruction, the mysteries of the cosmos, and the moral dilemmas of humanity. It's far from your average bedtime story, and that's exactly what makes it so captivating. It challenges us, not just to read it, but to think critically, to question our assumptions, and to confront the unknown. And maybe, just maybe, in doing so, it gives us a glimpse of something beyond our everyday reality. The Book of Enoch isn't about easy answers. It's an invitation, an opportunity to step outside our comfort zones and explore the fringes of belief, myth, and imagination. It reminds us that the world isn't as simple as we'd like it to be. There's more out there than what we can see and touch. There are mysteries waiting to be uncovered and stories waiting to be told. As the X-Files famously put it, I want to believe. Deep down, we all crave that sense of wonder, that feeling that there's something greater than ourselves. Whether we take Enoch's words literally or not, the book speaks to that primal human desire to explore the mysteries of the universe and to find our place in it. No matter what you believe, the Book of Enoch reminds us of one simple truth. The world is still full of wonder. There are things out there that can still surprise us, amaze us, and shake the foundations of what we thought we knew. And most importantly, the search for truth and meaning, that's a journey that never really ends. For those who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by all this talk of fallen angels, cosmic prophecies, and ancient wisdom, here's the key takeaway. Don't be afraid to explore the unconventional, the unorthodox, the ideas that challenge everything you thought you knew. The Book of Enoch is a testament to the power of imagination, the allure of mystery, and the importance of keeping an open mind. That's a wrap on this episode of Weiwat The W Files. The Book of Enoch is more than just a forbidden text. It's a story that continues to intrigue, inspire, and unsettle. Whether it's the fall of angels, the rise of the Nephilim, Enoch's cosmic journeys, or the prophecies of a world on the edge, this book forces us to question our assumptions about history, religion, and even the very nature of reality. But more than anything, it reminds us that the search for truth never ends. There are always new mysteries to uncover, new perspectives to explore, and new questions to ask. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, subscribe and follow Weiwat The W Files for more explorations into the enigmas that keep us up at night. And as always, keep asking questions, keep searching for answers, and keep exploring the mysteries of the universe. Until next time, stay curious.
Wait, what? Wait, what?